And we are here with Jamie Nelson, who is a part of the student support team. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
That's good. So can you just tell us a bit about your job and what exactly you do?
Okay, so I work in the student engagement team. So that's one of several teams that form the student support services at the University of Bedfordshire. So specifically what my role is to help and support students when things go a little bit off track, or if they're getting a little bit unsure about how to progress to the next step in their educational journey with us. And that's pretty much, in a nutshell, what we do. But I will go into a little bit more detail about all the different services that we offer a little bit later on.
Yeah, sure, great.
So do you offer financial support for students in general?
So there is support services specifically geared up to look at financial support and advice. So we have our student money advice team. So the SMA team, as the hip, cool and trendy of us have a range of advice and support available for students. So we have what the University of Bedfordshire calls an Access to Learning Fund. So that is a pool of money that students are able to access if they're experiencing financial hardship or difficulties, and they need some a little bit of a boost or a little bit of support if they get to into a bit of a pickle, because we know sometimes cost of living is already hitting everybody. Everybody's feeling that pinch, but also for some students this might be the first time that they've ever had to deal with their own independent finances, and sometimes getting that student loan can be a little bit overwhelming, and people go, oh, Domino's for the first time, okay, and then you can find yourself getting caught short at the end of the first month or so. And we're non-judgmental. We understand that sometimes that can happen, and some people just need a little bit of extra support. And we also have budgeting workshops. We have support with scholarships and bursaries as well. So if you're joining us and you're entitled to any of the bursaries or scholarships, we have a special team that will get in touch with you and let you know what's available and how you can access it. So yeah, there's quite a wealth of support available.
Yeah. Well, how can someone contact you guys?
So contacting us is very easy. So we have a student support website that's part of the homepage. So under University Life, you'll see student support. Once you hit that landing page, there's a load of different tiles with the different support services that we have available to you. And all you can do is click on there, and then there'll be various email addresses that you can click on, and all you have to do is click on it, and it will automatically generate an email, and then you can just start typing away and let us know what you'd like to get in touch with. What we've also done on our main pages is giving you a little bit of an explanation of what each team does, so you know roughly which area to aim for. But if in doubt, you can drop an email to student engagement, and we will have a little look into your inquiry and then signpost you where you need to go. So it's very easy to do that. Alternatively, you can go and visit one of our SID desks, or you can call SID. They've got a very easy to remember number, 0300 300 0042. Nice and easy. Get in touch with those guys, and they will make sure that they set you up an inquiry, pass you on some information, and then it's up to you what services you want to access or not. So it's completely self-referral. You can take control of what services that you actually want to engage with and what ones you just actually, I think I'll be okay with that bit. It's completely up to you how you access the services.
And aside from the more practical issues like finance, do you guys also offer support for mental?
Yeah, so I think it would probably be pertinent for me to give you a little bit of an overview of the different teams and what they do. So student engagement, we sit in what is known as the SEAM team, so student engagement and mitigation. So student engagement, we look at complex issues, and where there's instances where students want to meet with us on a one-to-one basis and talk through concerns that they have, whether that be academic or personal concerns, and then just get some one-to-one advice and guidance from an unbiased and non-judgmental service. That's what we do. And then the other half of that team is the mitigation team. So sometimes last-minute things crop up. We've all woken up and suddenly felt a little bit rough, and you never know, that could be the day of an exam, that could be the day of a practical, that could just be a day that you're not feeling great. And it impacts a week of where you're supposed to be prepping an assignment. And we understand that sometimes these things happen and they are unavoidable. And what we have in place is the mitigation team, where you can apply and tell us about your circumstances, fill out one of our forms, all available on our website. There's loads of different categories that you can apply underneath. And then our team will review it, and then you can get an extension on a piece of work. So that could be up to 1 to 14 days, extra. Or we get a reassessment opportunity. So if it's something like an exam, we're not just going to say, oh, come back tomorrow, because that exam will have sat. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Give you another opportunity to do it. So that's how student engagement and mitigation work. Then we move over to our health and wellbeing teams. So we have the counselling team, the mental health team, and the disability team. So they govern pretty much what it says on the tin. So the mental health teams, we have mental health advisor, that students are able to talk through any mental health concerns that they've got, seek support that's available internally from the university, but also our mental health team has a really good connections with all the support services that are available in the local community. And if any of the students are coming, they do end up coming to join us in September and come along to our Thrive events, we've got a bit of a wellbeing fair available, and the mental health team are helping to bring in some external so you can meet providers that are in the local area and get that advice and guidance, both centrally and a little bit broader. So obviously, nice and supportive there. Counselling services are there just to be a listening ear and to provide some trained therapeutic conversations and help you move through and work through any problems that you have, and provide some advice and support there. And the disability team supports students who are either identify as having a disability and have diagnoses, but also support students who have long-term chronic illnesses. They offer advice and support there, and we put things in place to help them succeed and level the playing field to make sure that there's equal and fair opportunities at Beds to get involved and do well and succeed. And then we have our student money advice team, which I've talked a little bit about. And then after that, we also have our community and faith team. So I think when you took us through the 360 tour, you showed us the treehouse. So that's one of the services that's available. That's the Luton version of our community and faith team. And then we also have over in Bedford what's called seed beds. So nice and tree themed. Don't ask me why that is, but I'm sure there is a very good reason for it. So the community and faith teams run a Christian-led multi-faith support service. So it's also for students who are non-practicing or don't associate with this particular faith. It's a really great opportunity for students who feel a little bit like they want to make some friends or meet some people from the community. It's a great social opportunity for students and also for staff. You'll often see staff popping down there just to see what's going on. They always do the best food, and they've always got tea and coffee available, which is always fabulous. And they also do some really great cultural events. I think anybody that's been on campus during Holly last year will have seen they had the coloured powder paints out, and the campus was literally lit up in colour. It was absolutely wonderful, and anybody that saw it really did enjoy themselves. I did have to run a little bit because I was wearing a white shirt at the time, and although I looked great in Technicolor, I think my boss would have probably had some raised eyebrows for that one. So yeah, those are my support services, and that's roughly a rundown of all of the different ways that you can access support, both physically and for your emotional well-being.
Just one last question.
Yeah.
I know some people may find it a bit, shameful or embarrassing that they have to actually seek out for help. So how would you advise someone to get over that?
I would say that if you think about all of the famous people that you think are incredible, the people that you absolutely idolize, and then you think to yourself and honestly think to yourself, did that person get where they are today all on their own? Did they manage all of that by themselves? Or realistically, do you think that they have had a team, an army? And they say it takes a village.
Yeah.
And it really does. And there is no shame in being human and needing a little bit of a champion sometimes, because sometimes you are everybody else's champion, and that's absolutely incredible. And we applaud people that are like that. But also you need to be able to champion yourself. And sometimes that does mean just going, do you know what? I need 5 minutes. Can somebody have a chat with me? And that's what I would say. I was like, don't compare yourself to ideas that you have in your head about being perfect, because anybody that thinks they're perfect is probably far from it. And those of us that are just accepting that we're human and just want to say, hands up, I just want to chat. It's absolutely fine. And that's what we're here for. And that's the whole ethos of Bedfordshire, is getting involved, accepting that there's no judgment, and just being open and having open for honest conversations and helping people move forward and succeed. That's the whole aim of the game at the end of the day.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you so much, Jamie.